Hey folks, welcome to our channel.
Family friendly bushcraft!
If you want to see different content, put it in the comments below. But make sure you hit that bell for notifications. Make sure you subscribe. So we've covered battening to reduce the size of timber in one of our videos, and I'll put the link in that below. So today we're going to be breaking down some bigger wood for a longer lasting campfire. And when we're travelling light, we don't really want to be carrying too much in the way of bow saws and extra tools. So normally we'd just be carrying the folding saw and the knife. Sometimes we'll be carrying a wire saw if we're in the survival-y type mode. Other times though, in another helpful addition can be the bow saw blade. In this one is a 21-inch bow saw blade. I was looking for something more like 10 or 18-inch. But that's the smallest they had in the shop on the day. Now this is really useful. It's a very thin piece of kit, as you obviously know a saw blade is. It can be slipped down the back of the Bergen in between other kit, but we haven't got the bulk of the handle, and that's what we're going to look at today. We're going to look at doing a folding saw, a takedown saw that we can build on the day. And because we can build it in the field with just the couple of little tools that we've got with us, it makes it a really useful addition and really handy for breaking down bigger portions of wood. So once again, we're back at our pallet, our impromptu little bench, and we're going to make a start working, cutting some wood down for the saw. I've got what will be, when it's split down, quite a reasonable little handle shape. We can sort all the ergonomics and such out later. Sorry if it's... Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the knife, and you can see between the two cuts, preferably if Tyson holds the camera out of the way of the hammer, and split away that little bit of wood.
It wasn't there. Okay,
so we'll leave that there for a moment. We've got a Keyway cut. It's probably 1/4 of an inch deep, but that's enough to stop the midsection slipping out when we get it in place. So what we want to do now is, we've got the Keyway. We want to go to the end of the piece where the blade's going to be. I'll move my wee hammer. So we're going to take in a straight line from the Keyway to the end of the branch and just cut a notch to guide us there. So we're going to cut the notch. This will be the notch that takes the blade, the bow saw blade, and enables us to break down some of that bigger timber. Okay, so notch right the way through the end. Okay, right across. So that one can go there out the way for a minute. Okay, so we can see our saw blade. You got both ends of it in, mate? That's a 21-inch blade, but we don't quite want 21-inch of wood. So if we're considering that the blade itself be 21-inch from end to end, what we're going to do is cut our centre section, our centre support, to fit end to end of the teeth itself, the cutting area itself, rather than the whole blade. And then we're going to be reducing a bit of material out of this shortly. I'm just going to do this end first in preparation. Can you see where I'm cutting, mate, on the camera? Now you see there's a little bit of claret because I slipped with the saw. It's nothing to worry about, we'll sort that out later. And that is something coming on later videos, some elementary first aid for the outdoors. So we can see I've got a little Keyway there, a little key rather to go in the Keyway on the handles. Let's tidy that up so there's less chance of it slipping out. Again, the other end, and place the knife away and take out the folding saw, and making sure that I'm cutting from the same area. Don't really want a huge amount of material from the end because it's only a shallow Keyway which only needs a small key. And there we go, very rough and ready. There we go. Knife away, folding saw away. Okay. Okay, we got the other handle ready. Once again, we're going to go round about the middle. I'm going to take away some material, and then we're going to once again carve a Keyway in so the central support stays in place. Okay, if you're enjoying the content so far, please do hit that like button, because every press we get really does help us out. Thanks very much. Okay, so we've got all our parts. The only thing missing, a bit of string. In this case we're using jute, which is really useful in bushcraft. You can use it for things like this, for handles, for fire lighting, and for general cordage. For, well, it is what it is, isn't it, after all? So what we're going to do is take our ends, I'm going to pop it in place. Both ends. Once we're happy, once we're happy that it's offered up, it's going to do the job we need, we're then going to need pegs for the ends here. Can you pass me a thin piece, please? Only needs to be as thick as your little finger. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of material, peg in there, okay, just roughly for the time being. And at the other end, mate. And the same for the far end. So when we start putting tension on in a moment, we're going to be tensioning against these pegs and allowing the takedown saw to take shape. Now you can see, film this middle part, you can see now we've got the keyways, we've got the keys, sorry, in the keyways in the handle. Just a little bit of a balancing act for a moment. So now we're going to take our piece of jute. I'm just going to hank it on there with a clove hitch. So we put a loop round with the trailing loop inside, the trailing end, sorry, inside. Then we're just going to loop it again. So the two loops form a clove hitch around the end of the piece of wood. Clove hitch is one of the most useful knots in bushcraft, used for all kinds of applications. We're going to take it loosely round a couple of times, because what we want some material to work with, but we also want, okay, so we put our loop and then another loop in place, and we draw it tight, and that's our clove hitch again formed. Pass me that piece down there, Conan, please. So we've got a piece from our fire material. We're just going to slide him in and start winding him up a little bit, because what we want to do is we want to bring tension slowly and so this puts tension on the rest and holds that blade in place for us.
Oh, that's a cool saw.
Yeah. That's the idea. So we're putting more and more tension in place. We're working against these pegs. We're just putting tension on and tension on, and we're bringing up to the point where this blade, we can see it's not exactly the straightest blade in the world, but we want that to be. We want to take that tension up, make that blade tense. I've snapped the spring. Right, we had to go with jute, which wasn't quite strong enough for what we were trying to do. That's a learning curve for me, so in future I'll braid it if I'm using jute, or go straight to paracord. Now paracord's good stuff. 99.9% of people in bushcrafting carry at least some paracord. Considered a bit of overkill for a lot of situations, but one of the things people do that I don't understand is they waste it. So they'll do an application like this, and then they'll make their clove hitch in the end, and then they'll cut the length off. Why? I don't know. I don't get why, because that just turns a 30-foot piece of paracord that could be a guy line, a washing line, a kit hanger, whatever, or even holding your shelter together, into two 15-foot, not quite able to do the job with. Okay, so Conan, can you pass me that bit of stick again, please?
Yep.
Thank you. So again, we're going to start winding and getting a little bit of tension in here.
Just like winding a key.
It is. And we're just going to pop that there a moment while I straighten up the keyway. Yeah. So we can see we're starting to get a bit of tension in that now with the loose end of the paracord. We again don't want to waste it. So looking on my hand. So if we put the trailing end through between the thumb and the first finger, stick our little finger out and do a figure of 8 around them. This is one of the best ways I know of anyway. If you know of a better way, put it in the comments below. But one of the best ways I know of tying up your loose cordage so you can deploy it easily, quickly and without hang-ups and snags. So what I will do, for the sake of brevity and simplicity, I will just tie it onto the handle, put a simple overhand knot around there just for the moment. Okay, so we've reached the point where this should be usable. So what I'm going to do, and Connor, my cameraman, is going to hold it on, hold the camera in place and show us cutting this piece of wood. Now we're going to use the length of the blade. We're not putting huge amounts of pressure on the bow saw blade, but as we can see, it is really effective. We're going through that piece of wood really easily in a very few cuts. This would have shouldn't have stopped it, but hey. So, and once again we're going to go from the beginning. Lovely seasoned wood this, so it's not like it's rotten or soft wood in any way. This would have taken quite a considerable time with the folding saw, but even with a very rustic cobbled together takedown saw, if we're going to use it for an extended period of time, we've got a lot of timber to process, there's no reason this extra paracord should be hanging about and getting in the blooming way. So what I will do, and I've tangled it by dropping it, which kind of disproves my previous, doesn't it? So what I will do at this point, I'm going to process all this wood in a minute. I'm not really, but hey, for the sake of the film. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a loop with the paracord, run it down all the way from there. In fact, I shall hook it on the blade so I know it's going to be there, and run another loop down to about the mid shaft end, and then I'm going to start to wrap it round. Okay, so the idea is I'm making a nice paracord handle that'll make it a lot easier to use. I've left this loop at the mid support end because this is going to be our way of pulling the paracord tight and in place. And what I'll do, I'll actually move that a little bit further down because I don't want a huge handle going all the way up. I mean, my hand's only that big, it only needs to be there. So I'm sure there's people out there who do this sort of craft all the time and have some kind of bobbin idea for doing this. But as I say, this is all quite rustic. Right, okay, we can see we've done the paracord handle. Just be careful with your handle against this corner, it is quite sharp. If we were doing this as a more permanent or a more regular use piece of equipment, I'd be wrapping that up as well. You see Leighton's come to join the fray now. Oh, you've beaten me up with your stick. If you've enjoyed watching today's content as much as we've enjoyed making it, please do hit subscribe, press like, ring that bell for notifications and leave any comments below. We'll do our best to answer any questions that are posted within the first couple of days of posting. All the best for now and see you in the next video.